I'm fine. How about you?
I'm very good.
Okay, today is 1st November 2018, and my name is Ismail Natino Iman. I am a student in Bachelor of Arts program with College for America at Southern New Hampshire University, and I'm conducting this interview as a part of my academic work. With your consent, I will record this interview and use the information in a video I'm working on for a contribute to a society project. The interview will be used to create a video and submit to College for America so that my project can be evaluated. This coding will be used solely for this purpose. The interview information will be temporarily stored in the College for America online evaluation system, to which only the evaluator and College for America staff will have access. Do you have any question?
No, I don't have any question.
Okay. Do you give your consent to be interviewed and recorded?
Yes, I do.
So, can you repeat this statement by placing here with your name, I, and your name?
Okay, I, Obed Ogero, give my information consent to participate in this interview to be recorded and used as part of the students' academic work.
Okay, thank you very much. I am just going to be discussing with you about the different questions which are related to the governance of our nation of United States.
Okay.
I think you are even interested in this.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah. So the first question that I have for you is, what are three branches of government?
Okay, the three branches of the government, I understand, is legislature, there is executive, and okay, I don't know, I forgot.
Great, another.
I have about only those two words.
Okay, it's alright, it's alright. Another question asks, what does each branch do? Like, maybe that you're talking about, does it do what the executive branch of government do? Yeah.
Actually, I cannot tell specifically what they do, but in the government, there are many things that the government does. There are things of infrastructure, things of amendment of laws, yeah, such kind of things, but I cannot specifically tell you what they do.
You can't tell what it may be each branch, you are not sure,
but I think they
help. Maybe they help one another.
They help one another, but actually they, in government learning, I think they contribute there, but I cannot specifically tell what they do.
Okay, it's okay, it's okay. Another question asks, Democratic Party,
yeah,
and the Republican Party.
Yeah.
So those are two major parties in the United States. I mean, the government of United States. Yeah. So can you name another party, like third party?
Yeah, one thing I understand about these parties, we have the two, like I can call them the principal parties, the Democratic and the Republic. There are others like the Green Party. Yeah, I think I know the Green Party. And they are the two core parties, but the other ones, they are unpopular, I think.
Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, that can be good. The last question that I have for you, and we conclude. What is the basic process by which a bill, you know a bill?
Yeah, bill, yeah, it's yeah, I know a bill.
Yeah. Which basic process by which a bill becomes a law?
I think a bill is just a suggestion. For once, it's just a suggestion of some members. It's being discussed in the House, that's in the Parliament. Then after being discussed, they will forward that bill to the President, who looks at the suggestions of the members, and then he will affirm some like what the bill is containing. He will look at them and see what is fine to be implemented or not. Then if he gets that the bill has some problems, he can make some suggestions, and then they turn back to the Parliament. Then they will adjust those suggestions that the President made. Then they will turn back to the President, who will sign it, and it will be confirmed with the law.
Right. The process, I know that, I understand that you know the whole process by which yeah. So thank you very much for just participating, accepting my invitation. So we are done with these things. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much.
So, what are three branches of government?
And so, for me, I think, based on the information I have,
Mm-hmm.
the three branches of government are executive,
Mm-hmm.
legislative, and the judiciary. So those are the ones I know.
Wow, I understand that you know everything. So, do you know what does each branch do?
So I don't know. I don't know, but I think when it comes to like judiciary, I understand the things of justice.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that's kind of like protecting people
Mm-hmm.
who are maybe kind of some people who are against others. So they like to control of the justice of the people. So and the executive, so if I can try to think, I can understand like it's a kind of how the country is governed. Executive, like executing how the country is. Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
that's what I think.
How about legislative?
So legislative
Mhm.
is can I understand like the things of legal laws, in it. So
Creating laws.
creating laws.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I think it's kind of putting the laws to govern people in the nation.
Yeah, yeah, very good. So the third question that I have for you, you know, Democratic Party and the Republican Party.
Yeah.
So those are the major parties in the United States. And then, can you name another party apart from them?
Yes. So I think there are some third parties in the United States. Though we have the main ones, as you said, but I can name like Reform Party. So I think that's another kind of party which is operating in the nation. So yeah, kind of example.
Kind of example.
Yeah.
Okay. So lastly, then we conclude. What is the basic process by which a bill, do you know a bill?
Yeah.
By which a bill becomes a law?
Okay, so for that question, so I think it's difficult for me, but I understand that like when there are some things that people in the nation are suggesting, like there are kind of ideas that people suggest that can be put in the law, like be made like law. So there are some members of parliament in the nation, so they are kind of sitting together and they propose that suggestions and they conclude if it can be a law in the nation or not.
I can thank you very much for your consent, for your invitation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So, after having heard two different views of my subject, now it is my turn for complementing and answering two different questions as it is needed. So, starting with the first question, it asks, what are the three branches of government? Uh, uh, in the government of the United States, you have three main branches of government, which is a legislative branch of the government, and it is made of Congress, and this Congress's law is just to make laws. Another branch that we have is executive branch, which is headed by president, and it is sometimes called presidents. It reads people, oversee the application of the laws and the rights of citizens. Generally, it executes laws. Another branch that you have is the judiciary branch. It provides the justice to the citizen when the laws or the rights are violated. This is the one which is in charge. The second question asks us, what does each branch do? Uh, Legislative branch. This is a branch and it was created in 1789, where it was based in Federal Hall in New York, and later it was moved to Philadelphia. This Congress is divided into uh, House representative, and this part of Congress is represented by 435 members, and the Senate part is represented by 100 members. So what they do is just to create laws. Uh, the second branch, which is executive branch, it is a branch that is just to lead the people. Yeah, so it is made of president, US cabinet, and other leaders who helps in leading, overseeing the overall vision of Americans. It also helps to see whether people are living following their laws as stated by the legislative branch. President serves as crisis managers according to the college from America. Um, he also serves as symbols administrator. He also serves as agenda setter. Uh, Another branch, which is the judicial branch, it is made of different federal courts, and it provide actually the justice to the citizens of the country. Um, Coming to balances and checks between those branches, power is shared between the branches of the governments, where each branch can check the branch's action and balance this action with their own. For example, Congress can vote allow the president from executive branch sign it. Then when it reaches to the judicial branch, they find it to be unconstitutional. Then they immediately deny it. Another thing is that executive branch execute laws. Congress, the Congress one, oversee the laws, and the executive bureaucracy, and the judiciary can sometimes find the executive actions maybe unauthorized. This is the way they can balance with their missions, with their everyday activities. Uh, Moving to the third question, it says that Democratic Party and Republican Party are the major parties. Can you name a third party? American politics is known to be two-party system because of having two main parties which dominate the politics of the country. These are Democratic Party and Republican Party. These parties won president position from 1852 and controlled the United States Congress from 1856. Coming to the history of this two-party system, before 1829, there was Federalist Party and the Democratic Republican Party, which was called the Anti-Federalist. And then when it comes to 1829, there was a split of Democratic Republican Party, where it was divided into modern Democrats that we know, and this party was just led by Jackson. Another party apart from Democrats was called Whig Party by Henry. And then 1854, this is the time an emergence of anti-civil Republican Party was realized, and they adopted many economic policies from those Whigs. You know, the other Whigs, the party that in the split that had been happened before. This is the era in which this Republican Party became famous and was merging the politics with the ambition of fighting against the slavery. From that time until now, these two parties dominate the politics of the U.S. There are also other third parties. The other third party, those are like minor parties. Which are not those two. We have like a Libertarian Party, Green Party, and the Constitution Party. These parties sometimes win. They can even win different positions in the governments. But their first importance is to influence the election. As they participate in the election, they influence them. Besides influencing the election, third parties also usually organize and mobilize around a single issue that can happen maybe in the country, or which is in the country. They put pressure on candidates from major political parties to address these issues. So they transform different things by just concentrating on one issue and analyzing them, so that the candidate from major parties can do something for that. Last question is asking what is basic process by which a bill becomes a law. Uh, Actually, the bill starts within the Congress. The Congress, we have seen that Congress is made of two parties, and the first one is that one which is called the House Representatives, and the Senate party. So any member of Congress is capable of introducing a given bill either Senate or House Representative. Uh, after being after a bill to be introduced is assigned for the House committee or subcommittee. This is actually where after a bill is introduced to the Congress in general, it is now given to a given committee. This committee or subcommittee is going to conduct a research study on the bill, make different findings. They do this by listening to different people, maybe like members of interest groups and so on. So after after researching, studying about this bill, they can maybe reform it, revise it, or add something about it so that to strengthen it. Then, if it was given for subcommittee, subcommittee vote sorry to put out this bill to the committee. After this bill is given to the committee also do some additions, do some findings, and then it can maybe vote to put it out. So this is where the bill is given to the House Representative Conference, where they debate about it and vote. Um, After voting and then the bill passes, now it goes to the conference of Senate. When it goes to the conference of Senate, it also assigned to the committee or subcommittee in the Senate. Then the Senate committee will also pass the same process. That's conference or that committee or subcommittee in the House Representative. And it is going to go through findings, hearing to different people, and then when it passes there, it goes to debate, conference of all senators, where they are going just to the kind of voting and debating about it. Then after being passed there, now those two committees, the committee of Senate and the committee from House Representative, they meet together just to iron out these differences that they have made, and then after seeing it to be good, what they are going to do is just to sign a document or to order to give this bill to the conference of House Representative, all of the House Representative and their senators. Then this whole conference is going to take final decision. If it is done there, then they send the bill to the president for signing it. After signing it, then everything is done. Then it becomes a law. So that is how the bill passes a complex process of just becoming a law. So thank you very much. This is all about U.S. governance.